Hello, my friendos. We're jumping right back into Phoenix Wright's Spirit of Justice. I am just pulling up the walkthrough now, and we are going to go back into Spirit of Justice, where we are going to be smelling some butts.
And cake.
And cake. But mostly butts.
And cake. Because butts can be considered cake.
That's a bunt cake, not butt cake. It's a bunt cake. B-U-N-D-T? Yeah, I think there's like a silent B in there somewhere.
No, it's actually not a bunt cake this time. I just used a regular cake pan. I'm testing to see what the difference is between the two.
Oh.
It's going to be it's the same recipe, the exact same recipe.
Okay, it's right here.
It's just like much easier to A, flip over, and B, cut.
So we're flipping the butt cake. So would that be classified as us flipping our shit? I'm flipping my shit. Can you tell I'm in a mood? I'm in a mood.
So long as you don't do it on the job, SpongeBob.
Whatever you do, wash your hands. All right.
I'm going to be
back into the world of tomorrow.
I'm going to be stepping away in about 20 minutes.
Okay. September 22nd, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Wow, it's been a while since I've had this much fun and excitement. Face off against Mr. Edgeworth. A harrowing tightrope walk for the defense. Whew, I'm exhausted already. Boss, that's probably Athena.
He always talks like that.
I'm here for moral support.
Athena, are you all done practicing for Trucy's magic show?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I sort of ran away. But that's because I was putting my life in danger, I tell you.
I see. I think I'll need to have a one-on-one with her. You're really athletic and fit, Athena. So Trucy probably thinks she can run you ragged.
That might be true. Because why not even Trucy can keep up with me when I run at full speed.
Looks like you spoke too soon, Athena! Never underestimate the resourcefulness of a great magician!
Huh?
Magical girl Trucy Wright is on the scene!
No!
Now, Athena, it's time to practice human combustion magic! Go on, douse yourself in this gasoline!
Jeez.
But don't worry, it's a magic trick after all, so it's perfectly safe.
Run away!
Hey, you're not getting off that easily! They get along so well, don't they? Reminds me of the good old days. You, me, and Pearly. Oh, and Detective Gumshoe. Can't forget him. Don't bring up his name if he's not going to show up!
Yeah,
Why do you get our hopes up?
That's upsetting, man.
We had all kinds of fun at the crime scenes back then, remember? Leaving me to do all the serious investigating, as I recall. Court will soon be back in session, Mr. Wright. Right, thank you. So Larry's the next witness, right? I can't wait to see what happens. Sadly, I can already imagine it. Oh boy. September 22nd, District Court, courtroom number 6. Court will now reconvene.
Auntie! The village is gonna hang me out to try, aren't you?
No, not the both of us. Just Mr. Wright.
You started it. I don't really think he did it, of course, but I've got to use whatever leads I can. Mr. Butts, there's a possibility you moved the lantern that had the dead body in it. So if you want to clear yourself of any suspicion, all you have to do is testify. Now then, your testimony, please, witness. Nick is a jerk face. Okay. We're already kicking it into full throttle, eh? Going from 0 to shit hundred and fuck, huh? All right.
Nick, you big fat stinking jerk! Oh, now your best bud. We've known each other since elementary school.
Well, Edgeworth is more of the best friend, but whatever.
I'm starting to feel like Billy.
Billy!
From Billy and Mandy.
Destroy!
Well, get this, pal. Our friendship's over.
Don't say pal. That makes me think of Gumshoe.
Motherfucker, you didn't give me testimony.
Well, go ahead, Mr. Wright. He's all yours.
Why me? You're the one who called him to the stand, so he's your responsibility.
Thanks, old chum.
Show me a little respect, even just a shred.
You would have to deserve respect, my friend. And every time you show up, you don't deserve respect. You may cross-examine the witness, Mr. Wright. I would, if there were any testimony to cross-examine. I'm guessing I have to kind of just cross-examine press
Push everything, yeah.
Do I have to?
Yep.
Ugh. Fine. Come on, Larry. Can you please give me something real to work with?
Don't think I don't know about your tricks. If I say something careless, you're gonna show some evidence at me with a loud objection. Stuck look on your face.
Yeah, well, that is my job.
And if I get found guilty, how are you gonna take responsibility for what I've done?
Why should I take responsibility for just doing my job?
You heartless jerk! Don't you have any compassion for me?
Where's all of this animosity towards the other guy? The other guy is literally a robot. A law robot. Hold it! I'm sorry, Mr. Butts, but if it wasn't Miss Wyatt that entered the hold with that card, then you're the most likely suspect.
Nick, are you seriously doubting the innocence of your childhood friend and withholding burgers?
What innocence? Every time you've shown up here, you've been guilty of something.
Share those burgers you're having in the court.
I would, but Maya's already taken them from my hand. She's like... Well, technically, yes.
Times Phoenix has called somebody out in court. 3.
But it wasn't personal, I assure you.
A true friend would believe in me no matter what. Can't you see my tears?
You mean the fake ones that you're crying right now?
Nick!
You don't really think you can cry your way out of this, do you?
Okay, fine. Case.
Uh-huh. Hold it! Larry, listen to me.
Stop! I'm not talking to you anymore!
This is getting us nowhere. Come off it, Larry. If you don't quit fooling around and start testifying, Miss Wyatt will be found guilty.
For real?
Even I know that was a reference. How dare you take Ryuji's name in vain? That's for purpose of... We know, Judge. We know. If no new information comes out of this cross-examination, then yes, Mr. Butts, for real.
Not that I would have a problem with that myself.
Larry, just tell us the truth already. Did you or didn't you go into the hold to move the lantern up into the reception hall?
I never moved any bolt lantern, I tell ya!
Bull lantern?
to say something weird?
You told me that you didn't attend the wedding reception.
Can you believe they told me only family and relatives could attend? They wouldn't even let me into the reception hall.
So then how did you know it was a bull lantern, eh?
Yeah? So what?
Then that's odd. No one in this courtroom ever mentioned the sex of the lantern that was moved. So how could you know that it was a bull lantern?
You didn't have to actually go to the reception to know that. Anyone can tell where there were two pegables by looking at the Flying Chapel's pamphlet. No, actually.
No, actually. All I can tell right now is that there's a strong sense of bull in the air in here. Please add that last statement to your testimony, Mr. Butts. Anyone could tell there were two pegables by looking at the Flying Chapel's pamphlet. Let me guess.
Throw
it's
the
Flying
pamphlet
Chapel pamphlet.
Yeah, throw the pamphlet in his face.
What? Controller? Uh-huh. Peg a cow and peg a bull. Two bulls, eh?
Objection!
I want you to take a look at this, Mr. Butts. Because, unfortunately for you, the pamphlet clearly shows a peg a cow and a peg a bull in their example diagram of the reception hall.
Huh?
But on that day, instead of putting a peg a cow and peg a bull out for the bride and groom, there were two male pegabulls on display. Yet somehow you knew there were two pegabulls in the reception hall that day. There's only one way you'd know something like that, Larry. It was you who moved the pegabull to the reception hall, wasn't it?
No! Larry, you didn't.
Mr. Butts, did you move the lantern containing the victim's body to the reception hall?
That's what it looks like!
What? Okay, in his defense, he probably didn't know it was him.
No, he didn't. Well, wait! You don't think I'm the murderer, do ya?
Maybe you and Mr. Bloomsbury were fighting over Miss Wyatt and you ended up killing him?
Goodness. Look, I didn't sneak him to the reception, but that's as far as it went. You know me, I wouldn't hurt a fly.
You snuck into the reception?
Yeah, sure, but some of the sprocket men that's a weird sentence. Some of the sprocket men caught and locked me up in one of the cabins. It was pretty awful, actually. But that's when I made that drawing of the pterodactyl I showed you, Nick.
Ixnay on the Aerodactyl tay, Larry? Wait, should I have said
It's
tay
tay,
or,
it's tay.
or pate?
Mr. Wright, not even you would take this farce that far, would you?
We are talking about Larry. What do I do? Do I accuse Larry of being the true culprit? No.
Accuse him.
No? Okay.
Nah, I was just like, no. Larry has been proven many times he's an idiot, but he's not a murderer.
Fucking flush
so,
him.
no, of course not.
Flush his ass.
No, you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Butts didn't have a reason to kill Mr. Bloomsbury. See, even Maya agrees. I can tell you're still eating my burger. You're holding it in your hand. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes, that's because you ate the rest of it.
He might have had an imaginary reason to kill Soren Sprocket, sure, but not Mr. Gloomsbury. After all, he did steal Mr. Sprocket's bride and tried to elope with her.
Just because I tried to steal somebody's bride doesn't make me a murderer.
I believe you, Larry, and I don't think you killed anybody either. You would never do anything like that.
Go butt your pal. I knew you'd come through for me.
Funny that, considering your sworn testimony just now that we were through. Mr. Butts, it's time you told this court the whole truth, understood? Oh boy. Ixnay on the Oopitstay.
Yeah.
Moving the lantern.
Oopitstay? Who are you calling
Who
Oopitstay?
do you call it Oopitstay?
I love the fact that they actually know Big Latin.
It's just like Nick said. I'm the one who moved the lantern. I was poking around the reception hall before the main event, and I saw a lantern was broken. There was a note on it that said, "Exchange with the one in the hole, Ellen."
Wait a minute.
Grab Ellen when convenient, then send her off from the Vista deck.
Okay, I was thinking they might have been connected somehow. With the exchange with the one in the hold. Okay. All right.
So I decided to do Ellie a favor.
So you switched the lanterns before the reception, did you? Then that means the victim really was killed before the reception. Lantern in which the victim's body was found, Larry wheeled it from the hold to the reception hall before the reception began.
It would appear that Mr. Butts completely fell for the defense's scheme.
Scheme? What scheme?
This note from the defendant, exchanged with the one in the hold, Ellen. Mr. Butts moved the lantern with the body in it up to the reception hall because of this note. And thus he has become a suspect in Mr. Gloomsbury's murder.
Hold on a second. I think I might have... I think it's the same handwriting.
Yeah, looks like it.
It looks like the same handwriting.
He hasn't actually submitted that note yet.
No, but it looks like the same handwriting.
That second lantern did feel pretty heavy. But I never would have thought there was a dead body in it.
What was a note like that doing on the lantern in the first place?
You've got it all wrong, Mr. Edward. I left that note for myself. It was simply a reminder because I can be very forgetful.
Objection! What a sorry excuse, Mrs. Wyatt.
Miss Wyatt, it's not Mrs. yet.
Yeah, it's true. The prosecution contends that this note shows one facet of the defendant's murderous plan. And you, Mr. Butts, you played right into Miss Wyatt's hands.
No way, Nancy, I don't believe it!
Objection!
Do you still really believe Miss Wyatt to be the culprit, Mr. Edgeworth?
Of course. My stance on the matter remains unchanged. If you think I'm wrong, then prove it with your cross-examination.
Gladly. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. All right, I'm thinking another press is in order. Moving the lantern. Yes. Just gotta press on one of the statements, right? So the lantern is broken.
Hold it!
The lantern you swapped out for the female Pegamoo, a Pegacow, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Why did you replace a female lantern with the male one?
Because I was too busy trying not to get caught. I didn't have time to check for little details like that.
If you didn't want to get caught, you could have just left well enough alone, you know.
Whatever! Anyway, when I took a look at the broken lantern, I saw...
There was a note on it.
Hold it!
It's probably that one,
Yeah.
because we need that in our evidence.
That note wasn't addressed to you, was it?
Well, I guess not, but... How can I let my dear sweet Ellie do all that hard physical labor on her own?
It's precisely that thought process that constantly gets you in trouble, Larry.
Besides, it was my big chance to show her how much I cared about her.
So I decided to do Ellie a favor.
Hold it!
Nobody saw you the whole time while you were switching the lanterns?
Nope, I didn't get caught. Not that time, anyway.
Not that time?
Yeah, when I tried to sneak into the reception hall first time, I didn't have as much luck. Those sprocket guys spotted me and nabbed me.
All of my words are failing me right now.
Pretty exciting, don't you think?
Larry, you need help.
Then they locked me up in one of those cabins. Nick, what are you asking about stuff like this for anyway? Shouldn't you be trying to prove Ellie's innocence?
Well, is that statement of his important to the case? I'm going to assume it is.
I shall return. I'll be back in a second.
Mr. Butt's trying to crash the reception and subsequently getting locked up in a cabin? I believe these might be important facts in this case, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Butts, please add that statement to your testimony. Okay. I tried to sneak into the reception hall, but I got caught and locked up in a cabin. Hold on. You've got to be kidding me. Was that suspicious third party Larry? When Ellen was attacked by Bloomsbury on the deck, I saw she saw in her dazed state a shadowy figure hit. Was Larry the one that attacked him? She fainted immediately afterwards. Oh no. If that really was Larry that did that, that opens up an entire new can of worms. Okay, but I feel like I might be jumping the gun on this one. Okay. I'm just gonna take a look at everything else.
Refresh your memory.
Yeah. Grab Ellen when convenient. Not quite done yet. Okay. So the new statement that he added was, I tried to sneak into the reception hall, but I got caught and locked in a cabin. You know what I immediately first thought? Ellen saw a suspicious third party on the Vista deck when she was being attacked by Bloomsbury. She saw in her dazed state a shadowy figure attack Bloomsbury from behind. I'm like, no, that wasn't Larry that attacked him, was it?
Oh, no.
But I feel like I'm jumping the gun. You know what? I'm gonna give it a try. Just to see. But I feel like this is the only logical option here. Because there's nothing else that really would make sense. Unless there's something that...
What?
That's the reception. How could he have tried to sneak into the reception hall? There's only one way in. Unless he climbed in from outside, which I don't think that would make sense. Oh, there is a side door. Yeah, that's the only thing that's jumping out to me right now. But I'm just gonna make sure of something. So you got locked up. Then what?
Then I started looking for Ellie and wandered to the reception hall again. That's when I saw the broken lantern and replaced it.
Uh-oh.
Even after they caught you and locked you up, you still went looking for Miss Wyatt? But hold on a minute. What is it, Nick? Maya, doesn't something seem weird to you? Larry is saying he replaced the lantern after he broke out of the cabin. That's right. Oh, wait, huh? You're right. That doesn't make much sense, does it? Mr. Wright, have you found an inconsistency in the witness's statement? Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. Mr. Butts moved the lantern after he broke out of the cabin, but that contradicts with this. The date, the time of the murder, right? Because wasn't he... Wait. Doesn't say times. else really comes to mind with the times. It has to be the autopsy report because if we're stating that he died and he died before that, he's saying he moved the lantern after he broke out of the cabin, which was after everything. Just double checking here. Even after you. Larry is saying he replaced the lantern after he broke out of the cabin. Yeah, so that means, yeah. So am I on the right track? Is it the autopsy report?
Actually...
Or was I on the right track before with it being Ellen's statement?
Not actually supposed to present anything yet.
But it's saying Mr. Butts moved the lantern after he broke out of the cabin, and that contradicts with this.
It's not telling me to present anything on that right now.
Go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we're establishing that this is after he broke out, after I pressed on the new statement that he did.
What's on the statement?
I pressed on the new statement that he added.
Okay. Not the broken lantern. Not the.
It's not the statement and it's not the autopsy report either?
No.
Before the reception began. So he wheeled it in before the reception began, and yet he's saying he moved it after he broke out? During it?
Yeah, that doesn't fit.
Yeah. So is it the broken lantern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I accidentally said that.
You didn't say anything. Is that? Yes, it's the broken lantern. Mr. Butts, what you're saying doesn't make any sense at all. What? You swapped the lanterns before the reception began, right?
Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it?
But you also just said that you swapped the lanterns after you got locked up in the cabin for trying to sneak into the reception. In other words, you're saying you swapped the lanterns both before the reception and after the reception took place. That certainly doesn't make any sense, does it? Are you gonna seriously suggest the time-traveling bullshit?
Well, we
I
have to.
swear to God,
We
Larry.
have to somehow.
Mr. Butts, did you swap the lanterns before or after the reception?
Which was it? Before or after? There's a world of difference between the two.
Well, Mr. Butts?
I guess I can't expect guys like you to understand. In a nutshell, it was both before and after the reception.
What?
I tried to sneak into the first reception and got locked up.
The first reception? Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going.
Then through the power of Ellie's pendant, time got rewound and went back to the time before the reception. It was after that when I replaced the lantern. So it was both before the reception and after the reception, get it? We went back in time before the reception. So of course the reception would take place one more time after that, right? That's why I said it makes perfect sense.
Mr. Wright, what in the world is the witness talking about? Has he developed some sort of intellectual ailment I'm not aware of since I saw him last?
Well...
None of the sprockets seem to remember the time skip, but I do. And Ellie remembers it too. I think the power of our love for each other made that miracle happen.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry, but could you please translate this man's gibberish for the rest so the rest of us can understand? FF. So now I have to do now I have to be the one to explain about the whole time travel thing?
Go on, Nick. I know you can do it.
Looks like you don't have a choice, Nick. To heck with it. I can't lose any more of my dignity today anyway. The defendant, Miss Ellen Wyatt, has told the defense the following strange story. She said that after the reception ended, she was attacked by Mr. Gloomsbury. She claims that, as she was being assaulted, she made a wish upon her pendant. Please take me back to that blissful moment. In doing so, time apparently rewound itself to just before the reception began. It's what?
It what?
I know it's hard to believe, but think about it this way. Through the power of the pendant, both Ellen Wyatt and Larry Butts experienced time travel.
What would affect?
What?
Porkunka!
The
Objection! What absolute rubbish! Mr. Wright, I've heard my fair share of your nonsense over the years. But this takes the cake. Have you thoroughly lost your mind? Objection!
But this is simply the conclusion I came to. Using that logic ability you love so much.
What?
The truth of the matter is the future president of Sprocket Aviation, Soren Sprocket, has been researching time machines. So what if a time machine has already been successfully created? And what if that's one of Sprocket Aviation's top secret inventions? A time machine?
Yeah, I even saw something while we were time traveling. I saw a pterodactyl flying through the sky. Maybe the airship was set to travel through time for their honeymoon trip.
What? A pterodactyl?
Objection! You can't possibly have any evidence to back up your ridiculous time traveler story.
Well,
As I thought. In any case, I now have the evidence to prove that you're no more intelligent than Larry.
Not so fast now, Eddie. I'm just not the same old Larry you used to know. I'm Super Larry. Ah!
Mr. Wright, please stop him.
Oh.
You want evidence? I've got your evidence right here. This is a photo I secretly took of the first reception.
What?
What? Larry, I can't believe you. Well, anyway, good job. If we compare the photos of the first and second receptions and can find a difference, then we'll be able to prove that the reception was held twice. But do you really think such a difference exists? We won't know until we look at the picture. Yes, Your Honor. I just need some time to find it for you.
This is preposterous.
Not the first time it's happened, mate. Very well. Please show the court what's different then.
What would affect?
What's different? What's hang on. I need to see the image. Check out the flowers.
Wait a second.
The flowers.
Yeah, it's the flowers. I was looking at it, I'm like, wait, red flowers?
Take that!
Please direct your attention to Miss Wyatt's bouquet of flowers. In the photo, in the photo one of her in-laws took. In the photo one of her in-laws took. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
The defendant is holding a yellow bouquet. But in the photo Mr. Butts took, she was holding a red bouquet. You're right.
That's impossible!
What does this mean? It means that the defendant really did experience two wedding receptions. And she did that when she traveled back through time. What?
Edgeworth is like, fucking hell.
Oh, I can't believe
Why
it.
do I keep getting roped into this shit?
No way. I can't believe this. Nick, you did it. You proved Ellen's time travel story to be true. Yeah, I can hardly believe it myself. It's just as Ellen said, the reception was held twice. This turns every assumption we've based this trial on upside down.
Objection.
All right, Edgeworth, what do you got up your sleeve?
I refuse to accept such a ludicrous argument. It is pure fiction under the guise of pseudoscience at best. There's simply no such thing as time travel.
I know it's hard, but can you suspend your disbelief for 1 nanosecond, Edgeworth? I bet sci-fi movies push all your buttons the wrong way, don't they, Mr. Edgeworth? I can totally picture you yelling, "That never happened!" every 5 seconds at the screen.
That's a pretty good approximation of my voice.
Thank you, I practice. Maybe you should stay away from movie dates altogether.
That's neither here nor there. This is real life we're talking about.
But the proof is clearly shown in the 2 photographs.
Okay,
That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how inexplicable...
Fine, I'll entertain your absurd delusion. If only to demolish it before your very eyes.
What?
Let's start with this, then, shall we? There is one thing your time travel theory fails to explain. And that is the memories of the other guests there. The defendant and Larry remember the reception occurring twice. But no member of the Sprocket family has ever mentioned such a thing.
That's because the time machine is classified in...
Objection! I'm not done, you bird brain.
Bird brain?
As I was saying, the entire family had been sworn to secrecy. Then why hadn't they sworn the woman who was marrying into the family to secrecy too?
That's a good point.
Honestly, all it takes is a little common sense, Mr. Wright.
Even still, how do we know that the trip through time did not really occur? There is proof in the photos that it did, and besides, if time travel doesn't exist, well, I'd be a little disappointed, frankly. I was hoping to go back to the days of my youth.
You mustn't allow yourself to be taken in by Mr. Wright's whimsical tales, Your Honor. I've read about it in various literature, you see. And they all say that time travel is just not logically feasible.
Maybe our argument is just a little too nonsensical, Nick. Well, in that case, why don't we put common sense to the test?
Excuse me?
The wedding reception was held twice. The photos are proof of that. But it wasn't because of time travel. It's simply because the reception had actually been held twice. Isn't that the most reasonable way to interpret the situation? Would you care to elaborate, Mr. Wright? If time travel doesn't exist, then there's only one way to make sense of what happened. Somebody must have orchestrated this strange phenomenon. And that somebody is everybody at the reception. The gods!
The God!
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Gloomsbury.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Gloomsbury.
Everyone at the reception, I mean, actually, they don't like her. Pretty much everyone in Soren's family are trying to get rid of her.
Okay.
So what if everyone was kind of in on it? It's definitely one of these two.
I want to say Gloomsbury, but I'm not sure.
I just want to check something.
Be right back while you make that decision.
Would he? Yeah.
Holy crap, I did it.
Good job. He did it, ladies and gentlemen. It's too low. Somebody must have orchestrated this strange phenomenon. I mean, I guess if they were all in on it, that would kind of make sense. Because again, they don't like her. none of Soren's family like her, and they want to try to get rid of her as soon as possible. But Gloomsbury is the head server. But I don't remember if he actually had a grudge against Ellen or not. The gods! Yes, the...
It's just at the bottom is really wet. More so than I'm used to. It just be because of the size, the shape of the pan.
Okay, but that's the thing, though. If Gloomsbury organized it, then everybody else would have to be different people. There's like no way. I mean, I guess he could have organized it by himself, but then that would imply everyone else was in on it too.
Yeah, I guess.
But then again, if everybody at the reception was in on it, even Soren was in on it.
Maybe there was two people of reception, like two sets of people for reception.
Yes, but if everybody was in on it, Soren would have had to be in on it too.
True. So it has to be Gloomsbury. That or Soren is in on it, but we don't know because he didn't really want to talk to us.
He didn't really want to say anything. You know, I'm gonna go with the.
Search them!
I'm gonna go with the my first thought, because Gloomsbury is the only thing that kind of makes sense here. But then, if that's not right, then it's everybody at the reception. All right, it is everybody at the reception.
Wow.
That was my first thought. I was right. I shouldn't doubt my first thought.
Apologies?
The gods! The gods! That's still so funny to me. So I was right the first time. It had to have been everybody, because that does kind of cast suspicion on Soren. The parent.
No, Phoenix, we are not doing the parent again.
Not again. What if all of the guests at the reception conspired together to hold the reception twice to keep quiet about it?
What? And for what purpose would they conspire to do such a thing?
Well, a brilliant deduction defense.
I don't... Ah, okay.
I could tell that you are not a renowned lawyer for nothing. I must say, I underestimated you. How so, Mr. Nickety? You have managed to name each event precisely as they happened. You have revealed it all to the light of day. Then that means it was us. We orchestrated the whole thing. Yes, the reception was held twice. But not because of time travel, no. We simply held it a second time.
What? Why? Why would you do such a thing?
To make it as though the murder Miss Ellen committed never happened. Master Soren figured that if Miss Ellen, who'd killed Bloomsbury after the first reception, experienced the reception one more time, she would think it was all a dream. It was he who ordered us to make it happen. However, only a few, myself included, knew of Miss Ellen's crime.
That's really suspect. That means everybody's in on it, and they're all going to be arrested.
Yeah. And that would make sense then, in that case.
Because they'll all be arrested for conspiring.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, no one in his family likes her. And they would try to get rid of her.
Yeah, but admitting this would put them all in jail. That's worse.
Unless, like what you said before, unless he's the one who did it,
yeah,
and is trying to put the blame on all of them.
Yeah.
Are you saying most of the guests attended 2 receptions without knowing why? Indeed. They needed no reason. Master Soren told them to do it, and do it they did.
He's throwing Master Soren under the bus, too.
That is the Sprocket way. Then who hid the body in the lantern? We did. But we did not anticipate the petals finding their way in, nor the actions of Mr. Butts.
And that's how you intended to cover the whole situation up?
There is just one thing everyone here has wrong. The real scene of the murder was not the hold. It was the Vista deck. What? Then Miss Wyatt's recollection of the events must be correct. I admit we tried to cover this incident up. But the fact that Miss Ellen killed Gloomsbury is undeniable. This is quite a turn of events.
Oh, okay. And so it appears we have arrived at the truth at last.
Now.
Please do feel free to travel back in time, Mr. Wright, and attempt to do this trial over again. Go on. I'm gonna load my save.
I've done that multiple times. What's your point? Let's not get hasty, Edgeworth.
I bet you can't do it. Oh, sure, really? Okay, let's do it right now.
Can't let you do that, Mr. Wright. I bet I can't either!
Your Honor, we will have to hold a separate trial for the cover-up conspiracy later. Dropkick Squidward.
Dropkick Squidward? I love it.
But as far as this case goes...
No, I can't. I believe we are ready for your ruling.
Objection!
Just before the defendant lost consciousness during her attack, she says she saw someone strike the victim. It's possible that this third party is the true culprit.
Objection!
You still want us to believe the defendant's words? Perhaps you've lost more than your touch during your time abroad. This third-person nonsense is nothing but rubbish, and you know it.
Objection!
But by the same token, how can we trust those who conspired and lied to fool this court of law? For all we know, they might still be hiding something.
You never know when to quit, do you?
Yeah, it's one of my endearing character traits.
A dragon never yields, is it?
Yes. Actually, now, calm down, both of you. In any case, there isn't enough trustworthy information yet for me to render a verdict. I suggest we continue the trial after both sides have investigated the matter further.
Second investigation? Very well, Your Honor.
That was close. Mr. Nickety, as for you and your cohort's attempt to cover up this crime, your case will be brought to a separate trial following the resolution of this current one. Understood, Your Honor. Well then, this concludes today's trial. Court is adjourned. Okie dokie. That wasn't so bad.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
It wasn't so bad. But now I have a feeling they're gonna turn up the heat.
Feel the heat.
1:48 p.m. Wright, anything agency.
What? So the whole time traveling thing was just a ruse put on by the guests at the reception?
Looks like it. I knew there had to be some kind of trick to it.
Wow, 2 wedding receptions. Can you imagine? I wonder how much that must have cost them.
I have no idea. But if you have to ask, you're not rich enough to want to know. Still, if you've got the money, it's a pretty good way to cover things up, if you ask me.
You got that right. I'm sure I would have been completely cool.
I'm back! Hey, Maya. Are you all set to go? Yup. Ready when you are. So, what should we start with? Let's start with reviewing what we learned at the trial. That what Ellen thought was time travel was really just a performance put on by the Sprockets. But other than that, it seems that what Ellen told us was actually all true. So what really matters right now is the identity of the mystery person Ellen said she saw while she was being attacked. I have a pretty good guess.
Oops.
I have a pretty good guess.
Sorry, folks.
So who is this mystery person?
That's the million-dollar question, I'm afraid. But if we want to clear Ellen of any suspicion, then figuring out who they are is key. Really? I thought speed was key.
I think I'll take twice for 200 instead, Mr. Wright.
Well, at least there were only so many people on that airship that night. And we know who the mastermind of the whole cover-up plot was too, so that's good.
You mean the group, Soren's Pocket, right?
Exactly. He might know something that could help us out. So then what am I doing?
So then what am I doing here?
Oh, so then what am I doing here? I'm a very busy man, you know.
Well, all the other people involved are Soren's family members. So I thought I'd better start by interviewing you. Even if I probably shouldn't trust a word out of your mouth.
Oh, me? I have a really tight schedule, but heck, what are friends for? Okay, pal, go ahead. Ask me anything.
You do remember it was you who came to me for help in the first place, right? Oy. I want to go over exactly what happened when before I step outside this office again. Since you were there, Larry, do you think you could help me get it all straight in my head?
If I gotta.
Okay, so the first reception was held at 7 p.m. on the day of the incident. That's the one you tried to crash, right?
Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. And then they locked me up in the cabin. It was awful, I tell ya.
Too bad we're not here to focus on you, Larry. And then the incident occurred after this first reception, at around 10 p.m. Ellen was attacked at the reception hall by Bloomsbury. He tried to use the raging demon. It didn't work out for him.
I'm calling it right now. He actually had secret, he actually liked her quite a bit.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
He forced her out onto the Vista deck and was just about to kill her, unless he was trying to warn her about Nickety's plan.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he was the only one who wasn't in on it.
Yes, you oblongata. What? I don't get it.
I forget what that is, but yeah.
It's a medulla oblongata.
But Ellie fought back and ended up killing old Bloomsbury instead. To cover it up, the family quickly threw together a second reception. That's what Edgy is claiming anyway. But I know my Ellie didn't do it.
The key point here is the mystery person Ellen said she saw strike Bloomsbury just before she passed out. Did you see anybody suspicious skulking around that day?
You know, besides you.
Nope, not a soul. Because I was locked up at the time.
But you managed to escape and sneak back into the reception hall.
Yes, you gotta. Lazy Larry. Okay.
That's when you switched the lantern in the event hall with the lantern in the hold, right? Did you see anybody then?
Nope, the place was completely deserted. I guess because that Pierce Butler guy had everybody gathered together somewhere.
That makes sense. He must have been going over the cover-up plan with them. So clearly, the murder had already happened by the time Larry got out. They must have gotten everything ready fast and had the second reception soon after that.
Then after that second reception, Ellie went to clean up the reception hall. And as luck would have it, that's when she found the body in the lantern I brought up. I tried to do something nice for Ellie out of the goodness of my heart, and this happened.
We still don't know exactly what happened during the actual murder itself. We'll just have to look into it, along with the identity of that mystery person. So while the murder was taking place, you were locked up in a cabin. Did you see anything unusual while you were in there?
In the cabin? Let's see. Well, there was that pterodactyl flying through the sky. That's pretty unusual.
Oh, right. That drawing of that pterodactyl you saw.
What's with all the air quotes? I really did see it, I swear.
But Larry, the time travel thing never actually happened. Which means you couldn't have seen a real pterodactyl flying through the sky.
Oh. Are you done from a super popular book author?
Yes. No, I'm just sure you saw something else and mistook that for a flying reptile.
You're making me doubt my own eyes. Now I'm not even sure what I saw.
Oh, boo-hoo. Cry me a river. Either way, you have no idea what actually happened at the real scene of the murder.
That's right, and I can say that with every confidence. Oh wow, would you look at the time? I better go. I have a book signing to get to.
A book signing? Whose book?
Whose do you think? It's mine, of course. It's a Laurie Stoneham book signing.
I bet you went around and begged a bunch of bookstores to let you do one.
Of course not. They're the ones coming around to beg me.
Looks like I guessed right.
Anyway, I have to go. I'll send you 10 copies of my new book that just got released the other day, all right?
10? That's very generous of you.
What are you talking about? I'm gonna send you the bill, too, of course. Just put him down as office expenses or something. Well, see ya.
Wait, Larry, we don't need... He's gone.
I'll take a copy, boss. Oh, and make sure it's signed.
Oh boy, Trucy's not gonna like this office expense.
Okay, so she's she's in charge of the book balancing.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, she is the magician. Most of the in the room is hers.
Yeah.
There goes our first lead. What do you want to tackle next, Nick?
Punt Harry Klutz.
Harry Klutz. Yeah, nice. Right. We should really hit the streets now, huh? How about we go see Ella?
Sounds good, boss. I bet I can cheer her up.
I thought you were going to help Trucy with her magic show again today, Athena. Weren't you supposed to go meet her right about now? Trucy said she was going to practice her new trick on you, if I recall.
On me? Really?
Trucy's show is an important source of income for our agency, you know. You can leave the case to us, so you go ahead and run along now.
Boss?
Off you go, Athena.
No, I don't want to die.
We'd better get going too, Maya. Okay. Okay.
Oh, the old song.
Yay.
It's good.
Oh, so we're already in high octane, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, this poor lady.
Oh, my poor sweet Soren. I wonder how he's getting along without me.
Hello, Ellen.
No, Mr. Wright. What's going to happen with the trial, do you think?
Well, first and foremost, we have to hurry up and find this mystery person you saw just before you passed out.
Do you think that person could be the real killer?
It's quite possible. And if we can prove that, we can clear you of all charges. Actually, do you happen to know where Soren is right now?
Yes, give Frypaw.
He's usually busy with meetings all afternoon, but he should be home by evening.
Whose pants are those?
I think I'd better go have a chat with him later then. It's the guards! He asked me to do his laundry for him.
Please don't point that out.
What? I'm a busy man. I stand here all day. You think I have time to do my own laundry?
Did you strip in front of her too?
No, I brought them from home.
Fair.
Why am I being treated to a view of someone's underwear?
Oh, they actually pointed out too.
You suspect my sweet Soren?
She basically said, don't tell me you suspect my sweet Soren. Well, he is the one who masterminded the second reception after the time skip. So I thought he might be able to tell us.
How could you, Mr. Wright? You can't possibly think my Soren would never kill anyone.
All right, just calm down.
No, not if you're accusing my Soren.
Please, I'm not accusing anybody. So please put the pen and ladle down. You're scaring the guard.
Give Fry Pat. Give it.
No.
Cross my heart.
El kabonk.
No!
Why not?
Because
So for now,
I need a nap.
would you mind if I asked you a few more things about the case? I'd better be careful not to provoke her. Could you tell me more about Soren?
there's nothing to tell. He's squeaky clean.
All right, okay. Maybe I should avoid the topic of Soren right now. Let's talk about something else then.
Fine, but you won't hear a peep out of me about Soren.
Talk about pulling teeth.
Persnickety.
Could you tell me about Pierce Nickety then?
Pierce. He came to Sprocket Manor about a year ago. As family butler, he's now in charge of everything in the household.
Suspect.
Only a year ago? Did he have some kind of special connection with the family?
I'm just a maid, so I'm not privy to such things, I'm afraid.
Sus.
It might have been Soren's order, but Pierce is the one who coordinated the whole thing. He's the one who really orchestrated the grand time travel farce. He must have quite a bit of authority in that family. But no matter how good he is at his job, how could anybody gain that much influence in a single year?
I really don't know. I mean, he is an excellent butler. Wouldn't that explain it?
Is it really as simple as that?
Nah, he's got dirt on that family.
Probably. What you thought it was time travel was really just a cover-up carried out by your in-laws. Pierce said Soren was the one who ordered the whole thing.
I still can't believe it. Even if the second reception was fake. Soren would never use time travel for something like that. He's very serious about his time machine research, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't come off as the hiding things kind of guy.
Not really. I heard there's a reason he's researching time machines, actually. Something about something he wishes he could change. But isn't the whole idea of traveling back in time itself a little fantastic?
I don't think so. After all, Soren said real time travelers do exist.
Really now? You think he knows someone who actually traveled through time?
That's right.
Mind-controlled dirt. I don't see a fox. What?
I haven't seen it personally, but Soren said as much. So I believe it.
Somebody who actually traveled through time, huh? It's pretty hard to believe. Thank you, Ellen.
You're going on to do your investigation now, aren't you?
Yes, that's right.
Please make sure you don't cause Soren any trouble, okay?
I'm afraid I can't promise you that.
What?
And now her bouquet is white.
Please, whatever you do. Please don't upset my poor Soren any further.
Fantastic,
I'm
Mr.
begging
Fox.
you.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
I'll do my best not to cause him any unnecessary trouble.
Oh, I couldn't bear it if Soren ever came under suspicion. I'm not get myself.
Hey, look, she's seasoning her pan.
Ellen, please, don't work yourself up like this. You don't want Soren to worry, do you?
No, you're right.
And the floodwaters recede once more. So what do we do now, Nick? Well, Ellen said Soren is usually in meetings until the evening, so let's save our house call until then. Why don't we go to the mooring dock and figure out our next move from there? Roger, Nick.
Why is the tears not flooding the room? Because the fry paw is a TARDIS.
I'm also willing to bet that there's probably a grate on the floor.
Yeah.
You're not. Trust me, she's not the first witness who's been crying nonstop.
Unlimited bacon. Yes.
Yes. So where should we start? Let's see. Are there any places we haven't examined yet? We already investigated the reception hall and Sprocket Manor. I know. We haven't looked at the Vista deck or the hold yet. Oh, shit! Ow! That hurt.
Hi, B. Hi, B. Let's connect that after I pass this time. My bad. Sorry, folks. big, awful...
Hey, you're right. We've still got some pretty important places left to examine, don't we? The Vista deck is the actual scene of the murder, right? And the lantern with the body in it was stored in the hole. I think there's a good chance we'll find some important clues on those locations. Do we know how to get to the hole? Good question. I think it was labeled in that diagram of the airship in this pamphlet. There it is. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Flying Chapel, the hold. So this is the hold. This is where Pierce orchestrated the whole cover-up operation. We better go over this place with a fine-tooth comb. Hey, Nick! Were we supposed to need a key card to get in here? Huh, you're right. I wonder why it was unlocked. That's probably Emma, right? How's it going this week?
How's it going, Mr. Wright?
Emma! What are you doing here?
Just a little independent investigating for my own sake. Gotta keep the mind sharp.
Ah, so the door security system was turned off for the police investigation. We'd like to investigate the hold ourselves. Would that be alright?
Yeah, sure. The police just finished their examination anyway.
Thanks. We'll just take a quick look around then.
Oh, right. You should know that the floor doubles as a huge lift. You can use that lever way back there to raise it up to the Vista deck. The police inspected it already, but didn't find anything of particular interest, it seems. If you do go up to the Vista deck with the lift, be careful not to fall off.
Got it. Thanks.
That goes double for you, Maya.
Yes, ma'am. Well, let's get this show on the road. Alright. Ooh, look, Nick, it's an airplane. I wonder if Soren built that one, too. Hey, why don't we take it for a spin? Just a quick tour around the neighborhood. And who do you propose is going to pilot that wooden death trap? Me, of course. Who else? Don't worry, I've seen people fly airplanes on TV plenty of times. I think I'll pass. I've still got my whole life ahead of me. What's that? A wedding bell? According to the pamphlet, it's used on the Vista deck during wedding ceremonies to bless the newlyweds. I guess they disassemble and store it away here in the hold when it's not being used. So there are 2 male Pegabo lanterns in the reception hall. That must mean that these 2 are female Pegacap. Larry got their sexes mixed up when he replaced the one in the reception hall, huh? Didn't he see the horns? The difference is pretty glaring if you ask me. And yet he managed not to notice. That's what makes Larry Larry. And Larry being Larry is why I've seen more than my fair share of trouble for a lifetime.
Oh, Mr. Wright? You know that lantern the victim was found inside of in the reception hall? I'm just about to go piece it back together so the police can examine it.
Oh, okay. We'll stop by for a look too, once you're done fixing it. Cool. Okay, so then this tablet. Huh? It looks like there were some fingerprints on this candelabra.
Yeah, I just got done dusting that. I was able to pull a set of left-hand prints.
Left-hand prints, eh? And that candelabra had a red spot in the middle. Fascinating. Do you know whose prints they were?
Yes. The prints belong to the victim, Dumas Bloomsbury.
Nick! I just figured out something amazing! You did? Get this! If the fingerprints on the candelabra were from his left hand, then Mr. Doom and Gloom must have been left-handed. What do you think of that? Do I have the makings of a great detective or what? You're a real silly Sally if you thought that deduction was in any way encyclopedic.
Hey, you're pretty good, Maya. I left to do it myself, and sure enough, the victim really was left-handed.
Really? I got it right? Awesome. Good for you, Maya. Good for you? That's all you've got to say? I think you did a really great job, Maya. Way to go. I guess I can never have too much info. Now you're talking. But come to think of it, this candelabra isn't in the photo Larry took of the hole, was it? That picture was taken when they were getting ready for the first reception, right? The candelabra must have been brought in here sometime after that. Then. Still possible it has something to do with the incident. I'd better add it to the evidence file, just in case. Candelabra, nope. Candelabra of the whole dancing.
I'm gonna use the bun pad from now on. It's not that it was a bad, but it took a lot longer to cook through. The bun pad makes sure that the cake gets evenly cooked.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Wright.
Okay, so before I do anything, go. Look at this candelabra. What do you notice about it?
Handprint.
Yes, there's a handprint. Look at the color of the area where the handprint was.
It's wet. It's red. Yeah.
Funny, eh?
Mm-hmm. Where'd the it probably got yeeted into the.
Oh,
ether,
you're looking for the
didn't it?
red screwdriver?
Yeah. Did it get yeeted all the way over there?
No, I found it on the floor and put
Oh,
it back there.
okay.
You can have this fingerprint powder if you like.
You're giving this to us?
Sure. I have 4 other sets.
Thanks. I feel like there's something more to the candelabra, but I can't put my finger on it. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, these are the flowers we saw in Larry's photo. Petals make them look like little gears. The perfect flower for the Sprocket family, huh? Maybe they were going to shower the couple with the petals. You mean like they kind of like how people throw rice or confetti? Yeah, like that. Only these were found at the scene of a murder instead. These must be the dishes and glasses they use for receptions. Very fancy. I bet we'd be in big trouble if we broke any of them. Maya, don't stand near them. Oh, I want to see. No. You, young lady, need to stay far, far away from them. You think I'm going to break them, don't you? Let's just say your rap sheet for breaking things doesn't help your case.
You called it before it happened.
Yep. Hey, if anyone knows this Maya, it's Phoenix, and I'm currently Phoenix, so...
She's such a gremlin.
Yeah, she really is just a chaos gremlin. So this is the airship's engine. It's pretty impressive.
Oh my gosh, we just realized I haven't had coffee yet.
It's all rhythmic, like a heartbeat. It's a literal heart of a flying chapel. Look at all those huge gears spinning around and around and around and around and... I think I starting to get dizzy. Yeah, me too.
I apologize, but while I have no speaking lines, I'm gonna go get myself coffee.
Get a milk too.
I only have one kind of milk.
I don't know.
Can't remember what it is, but it's unsweetened vanilla flavor.
What price is it?
Yeah, yak's milk. Milk in a yak ain't exactly a picnic, but once you pick the hairs out, it's very nutritious. Oh, it's a cake, Dick, a cake. It's so big they wouldn't miss one little piece, would they? If you're that in the mood for a mouthful of styrofoam, sure, knock yourself out. You mean it's not real? Well, sure fooled me. So ready to have some that I'm really craving cake now. Come on, Nick, let's go get some. Maybe after the trials. Shh, that comes later. Oh, look! There's the lever to the lift Emma told us about. Let's try going up on it. I'll go flip the switch. Here goes nothing. Wait, I'm not even on it yet. Oh, that's interesting.
Well, now.
Hey, Maya, stop the lift! Whoops, sorry, I got a little carried away. Never mind that. Move over a little. Okay. Is that blood?
Blood? Let me see.
Could it be Mr. Bloomsbury? Mr. Bloomsbury's blood?
Well, this lift goes up to the Vista deck where the murder took place, so... I think that's the most logical conclusion.
Does that mean he was holding on to the side with his hand? Because that's the only part of him that's bleeding right now. Oh, he might have fallen to his death. And the second hit to his head on the side of his head, he fell onto his head. He fell head first. Maybe. But I thought the victim was clubbed to death and that there wasn't much blood. Something tells me I better take a picture of this. Look at this giraffe. I should ask Emma about it some more later. Maya, could you bring the lift back down now? You got it. I'll go flip that switch again. There. Very fluffy. Done. I want to find out some more about that bloodstain. But for now, I guess we should go up to the Vista deck and take a look around the actual crime scene for ourselves. The view must be great from up there. I bet it'll be awesome. You mean it would be if it wasn't the scene of a murder. Okay, to the Vista deck we go. Make sure you actually get on the lift this time, Nick. I know. Okay, I'll just flip the switch again, and away we go. Wow, look at that gorgeous view. So this is where Ellen was attacked and Mr. Bloomsbury was killed. Yeesh, one wrong step and it's splat on the ground below. Should we go investigate the stuff that's a little closer to the edge? Well, I don't see much of anything over there. The police investigation didn't turn up any clues either, so maybe we don't need to. Oh, I get it. You're scared, aren't you, Nick? Of course not. Come on, let's get back down and finish checking out of the hole. Nah, violence. I feel like Venom right now. Let's see. Oh, I know full well I can denounce that. Fear of heights is a fear of heights. Okay, I think that's everything here. So now I probably need to talk to Emma again. Yeah. Any progress with your investigation?
Nothing conclusive yet, I'm afraid. Almost everybody was involved with the cover-up, so it's hard to know who or what to believe.
I know what you mean.
Unless you have some compelling evidence, I'm afraid this might be a tough trial for you.
You're telling me. There isn't much time left. So I've just got to make do and see what I can turn up. Emma, can we check out this candelabra a little more?
A little more? What do you... Oops!
What happened?
I almost dropped the candelabra, and the candle slipped off.
One of the spikes is dented, or has been removed. Well, let's be careful with that. It might be important evidence.
Wait a minute.
Now what?
One of the pins that hold the candles is broken.
What?
There's definitely something fishy about this candelabra.
There is. What makes you say that?
Call it forensic investigator's intuition.
I just used my eyes, but okay.
We already tested this for prints earlier. So let's test it with luminol this time.
Knowing Emma, she used every test she has at the same time she could.
Just hang on, this will only take a second.
I hope this turns up a new lead somehow. Well, Emma, did you find anything?
Take a look at this, Mr. Wright.
What is all that blood doing on there? Gee, a guy has a suspicious bloody left hand. I wonder why.
Maybe somebody got hurt while they were setting up for the reception. These pins are pretty sharp.
But if one of the pins is broken, that means there was some force involved. Do you think maybe somebody got stabbed?
But nobody reported anything like that.
It's quite a bit of blood. I wonder whose it is. If I have anything that might shed some light on that, I should probably show it to Emma. Alright, and now do I...
Yeah, is that something? Yep.
The lift bloodstain.
Yep.
Emma, about this bloodstain, doesn't something about it strike you as odd?
What's so odd about the victim's blood?
That's not exactly... There's... No, we might have to pull it forward. Because you're not staying on there anymore. That's not exactly... There's just something about it that bothers me.
Not that you mention it. I can't say I necessarily disagree with you.
Maybe I should talk... Maybe I should talk about this more with her. Give me a second there, guys.
Gotta pull me forward! March! Ah.
There we go, that's gonna feel a little better.
Plus that way I'm also closer to the microphone. Yeah, there's a second, folks.
Alright. Should be fine for now. Alright.
Boop it a bit.
About this bloodstain.
What about it?
There's something about it that's been bothering me.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Well, there's a huge bloodstain on the crime scene lip, and a bloodstained candelabra. Now, this is only a guess, but I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains are from the same source. I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains were from the same source.
I guess that is a possibility.
Can we compare the two bloodstains? Would that take a lot of time?
Are you kidding? Don't underestimate the power of science. It'll be done in a jiffy.
Always eager to get her science on.
And the results are in. That didn't take long now, did it? It seems that the blood from the lift and candelabra are from the same person.
Well, that makes sense. Oh, so maybe when he got stabbed, he was either on the corner of the elevator and it dripped onto the elevator, or he somehow got. I'm willing to bet that he might have been holding on to it, but that's my guess, anyways. Well, the victim was clubbed to death, and there wasn't all that much blood. But if this isn't Mr. Gloomsbury's blood, well, this is just a guess, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed somebody with a candelabra pin? That would explain both the huge blood stain on the lip and the blood on the candelabra.
Oh my goodness. If that's true, then that means there was somebody else present at the scene of the murder.
Yeah, like almost the same thing Ellen mentioned, eh? It does, doesn't it? This just might substantiate Ellen's statement about a third person. That's exactly what I said.
Take this from me before I drop it.
I got it. You might have to lift your feet a little bit more because I pulled her forward and I hooked the cord around your phone stand.
Oh.
So, like, it's a little better.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not sure if that'll be a permanent thing, but it definitely seems like it's okay for now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, is it 7? 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
It's yeah. It always flashes when it's a 30-minute.
oh, I see. Yeah. So what we just found out. I'll go over everything that we
Yeah,
just.
I heard you guys found something interesting, like a platform or something.
Yes. When they were lifting up the platform, there was blood smeared on the side.
Which platform?
You said, you know how Emma said that if you flip a switch, that little platform in the front can lift up to the vista? Yeah, so while it was lifting up, because of Maya lifting it up at a little too early, we noticed blood along the side of it.
Okay.
And now we've confirmed that one of the candlesticks, the candelabra, one of the sticks has somebody was stabbed on it. And now we've confirmed that the blood on the candelabra and the blood on the wall were from the same person. And it's from somebody who, and we're now theorizing that if it was someone other than Mr. Gloomsbury, that it would substantiate Ellen's statement that there was a suspicious third party. Emma, could you have this blood analyzed?
Sure thing.
Mysterious bloodstain on a candelabra with the victim's prints on it. This just might be the thing to back up Ellen's memory of seeing a third person. Next up, the reception hall. Might be worth taking another look around in there.
Best look at chat, or
I haven't been looking at chat.
they said new Nom's Pizza.
The reception hall. The forensics team is in there investigating right now.
Oh, they are? Well, we don't have time to just sit around. Let's just go check out somewhere else. Something else. Good idea. We could go question some people. Especially Soren. I have quite a few questions for that guy.
Good thing I came back.
Sounds good, Nick. Off to do some... Sorry?
Off to do some legwork, Len.
Yep. I thought we'd head to Soren's house for the starters.
He was accompanying the police on their investigation earlier, but he's probably home by now.
Great, thanks. Later, Emma. The foyer. You just left the card on the ground. You're all a bunch of nincompoops. Okay, so those flowers there, those are the flowers that were used during the second rehearsal.
Oh yeah.
Still can't get over how gorgeous Sprocket Manor is. Just don't touch anything. I wasn't going to. She was definitely going to. Okay, so that's probably Soren.
That is Soren, yeah.
What was it?
Soren.
You got a line, Bob.
Yeah. I was told I had guests.
Thank you for seeing us, Soren. We know you're busy. We'd like to ask you a few questions about the case, if you wouldn't mind. Soren?
Not interested. Oh, you're Ellen's lawyer, right?
Yes, that's right. Don't tell me he doesn't remember me. Don't hurt yourself. Okay.
Will Ellen be found guilty?
We're doing everything we can to prevent that. That's why we're here, investigating. Will you please tell us what you know? Soren?
All right, fine.
What's that pause all about? Oi, oi. It was you who gave the order for that large-scale cover-up plan, isn't that right?
What large-scale cover-up?
Don't play dumb with us. You held 2 wedding receptions in order to try to cover up Mr. Bloomsbury's murder.
I'm not the only one who thinks he looks like Marth.
A little bit, yeah. I can see it. His hair's a little more purple than blue, but, you know, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can kind of see it. Ellen thought that through the power of the timekeeper you built, she traveled back in time.
Ah, so that's why there were 2 receptions.
Wait, does he seriously not know why the reception was held twice? Looks like I'll have to delve deeper here.
Time traveler.
I'm wondering if it's not... I'm wondering if it's a mix of ASD, but it's also maybe he has another mental disorder. Something else.
I'm thinking this is more something like, oh shoot.
Anterograde amnesia?
No.
Not anterograde, retrograde.
What is that, that show? Monk. You know how he's really eccentric in the show?
I think so.
They chalked it up to the loss of the dramatic loss of his wife and him just down spiraling.
So the cover-up scheme, that fake trip in time, you're not the one who was behind it all? Pierce Nickety stated in court that you were the one who ordered it to be carried out.
Pierce said that? I see. Leave him in charge of everything around. I leave him in charge of everything around me.
Is that what he's writing in his book? Everything that people have said and done? He might actually have retrograde amnesia. Maybe he doesn't remember everything that happens from day to day. And that he has to keep everything tracked down so that he does remember.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if it's amnesia per se, but it's definitely...
It is amnesia, just not the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
Oh, it's not retrograde, it's the other one?
Anterograde.
Oh, so I was right the first time.
Yep.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought retrograde was like the typical amnesia where you forgot things about your past.
Anterograde is short-term memory.
Is the inability to create new memories after an event that caused amnesia.
Okay, so when he lost
that's
his
right.
mother, he just keeps having amnesia.
Yeah, maybe.
Leading to a partial or complete inability to recall the past events, while long-term memories from before the event remain intact.
Okay, so he does. I think we haven't actually seen him say anything about his sister yet. So we'll see. We'll see.
This is.
But that sounds right. It sounds like interrogating.
Isn't this like the story something of the Spotless Mind? I forgot. It was a romance story where the main character has amnesia, and not the main character, the other person, and they're constantly like literally redating and falling in love every day.
Isn't that 51st Dates?
Oh, that's it. Right. Yes.
Yeah, but So, next.
So forever, whatever he decides is, in essence, my decision too.
That's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
So I take it that you didn't know anything about the cover-up.
I honestly wouldn't chalk it up to him personally because he doesn't have memory. He has no idea if he has been here long or short term.
No, that's true. But it's just like doing something like that. Like I would sooner trust my memories with my future wife than I would with the butler of the family.
Yeah,
That's only been there for a year.
Yeah, but don't get. He's probably whispering in his ear Jafar style.
Maybe.
Because he needs some sort of confidant, and he can't. He doesn't know who to trust. He has no memory to do so.
His future wife?
He doesn't like. He probably forgot that she was his future wife several times now.
I doubt it at this
Anyway.
point. I doubt it at this point.
That's none of your business.
But you were in 2 wedding receptions in a row, and still you claim to know nothing?
I have nothing more to say to you. Please leave.
But Soren... Hey. Oh, there's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see.
Not interested? Go.
Go away. Doesn't get any clearer than that, huh? He's looking especially uncooperative, but maybe I can grab his attention somehow. There's still that one piece of evidence I don't know much about. It's worth a try. Is it the picture of his sister?
Nope.
No.
The pterodactyl?
Nope.
The platform?
The timekeeper?
Nope.
Which one did you know to?
She said no to everything.
The photos of the receptions?
Nope.
Fog machine.
If only. Is it the pendant?
Nope.
No, it's not the pendant.
Wait, what about the...
Something he doesn't know much about.
It's gotta be something he's interested in, so...
You just hovered over it.
Wait,
What?
Nope, not that one.
The candelabra?
really?
Really? Oh, I mean, it does look like it comes from the manor. It's fancy enough to come from the manor.
Mana.
Soren, have you ever seen this before?
That's...
Soren, what is it?
nothing.
Why does his whole demeanor change all of a sudden? He's gone pale as a ghost, too. Oh, it's because there's blood on it. He faints at the sight of blood.
That sounds about right.
Soren! Nick, look at his stomach. He's bleeding. Oh, that too.
Oh.
Maybe he was the third party trying to protect his wife.
Oh my.
Maybe he got stabbed in the process. Somebody help! Soren's collapsed.
He is the robot. He was shanked.
Get
to the hospital, quick!
Quickly, no. We've got 2 voices. Or it could be a pair of twins.
Yeah.
That would be funny if that was the
It would be funny. With the candelabra.
Poor Soren, that must be one serious wound.
Damn it, Faye!
What is it?
He is the robot. He was shaped with the candelabra in the vista by the butler.
That sounds about right. I know there was a maid character that was Mrs. White. Was there a butler in Clue?
Yeah, he was. Wait.
Mr. Green? Was it Mr. Green? Because there's Professor Plum, Colonel Mustard, and there was one other guy, and I think it was Mr. Green.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I remember it being Mr. Green because there was also Miss Scarlet, Mrs. White,
Yeah.
and there was one more lady that I'm drawing a blank on.
Cannot remember.
Yeah. Anyway, well, when I showed him the candelabra, his whole demeanor changed. So I was just thinking that maybe his injury is... Huh? What's this? It's his book. It's Soren's notebook. He must have dropped it in a rush to get him to the hospital. Oh, his notebook, huh? I wonder what's written in it. Don't you? Come on, you know you want to take a peek. Soren's notebook. What do I do? What do I do? Take a peek.
Take a peek.
You have to.
Huge.
I feel guilty snooping around in somebody's personal notebook, but maybe we should take a little look-see.
Everything's recorded in there.
Whoa! It's filled with big words written in tiny letters. I guess he uses this notebook to write down his invention ideas. Huh? What is it? Did you find something? After March 8th of last year, the content of this notebook changes dramatically. Like how? Well, ever since that date, Soren's been writing down every detail of his life. As in, everything.
Wait, when he lost his sister, was that a year ago?
I believe it was the March 8th.
Oh my gosh, he killed them both.
With this thumb.
He's trying to take over the thing. Since he's the butler in charge, he would stand to gain everything.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he decided to start keeping a diary? But this is way too detailed to be an ordinary diary. Although what we've been talking about, that seems to be a case. If he's recording everything that's happened,
Yeah.
somebody with intergrade amnesia would really benefit from that.
Yeah.
Miss Scarlet, Colonel Mustard, Mrs. White, Mr. Green, Mrs. Peacock.
Mrs.
Plum.
Peacock. Mrs. Peacock.
They're called
that's the-
colors.
That yeah. Oh yeah, that's the joke.
Colors!
Wasn't it Professor Plum?
Yeah, I just said Professor Plum.
Oh, I thought you said Mr. Plum.
Anyway.
Either he's really compulsive, or maybe just plain forgetful. But is it really as simple as that?
I mean, he is forgetful.
I feel like something happened on March 8th that made Soren change. Hello? Well, why don't you let me take a look at that and I'll tell you. Hey, Maya, don't go. Let go or we'll rip it.
Maya, seriously.
Now look what you did. You dropped it. Should have just let me take a look. It wasn't my fault.
In before something was in the
Oh no,
cover.
Nick. There's a page full of blood. Huh. It fell into that pool of Soren's blood. Can't read a thing on these 2 pages now. Uh-oh. You're gonna get it now. This really is my fault after all. Let's just take it and put it away carefully for now. We can't let anything else happen to it. You hear? Hold on. It's got blood on it now. What if there's a hidden message that we can make with the luminol?
Check it.
Database notebook, Chronicles events. Huh? Hey, look! There's something sticking out of the notebook. RAL company air dies in crash. That's about his sister.
Wadsworth, the butler.
Let's see. It's about a car crash accident Soren's sister died in. It happened on March 8th. That's the day Soren's notebook completely changed. Oh, wow! What else does it say? It says the driver at the time of the accident was Dumas Gloomsbury.
Oh, no.
It says Soren was in the car too, and that he has sustained severe injuries. It's just like Pierce said. Soren completely changed after the accident. So Gloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident. Ideas about his inventions in this until March 8th of last year, when he abruptly began to chronicle everything. However, the details of the day of the murder have been rendered illegible by a bloodstain.
Isn't that convenient?
A vehicular accident on March 8th led to the death of Soren's older sister. Soren was also in the car and suffered severe injuries. Gloomsbury had been the one driving. So it could be he got his amnesia from that accident because maybe he got brain damage from it. or he was severely hit in the head.
My number one model waiter, please. Mod.
So Gloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident. That opens up the distinct possibility of Soren holding a grudge against Gloomsbury. You think Soren could have... I don't know. It's not like I have any proof. We should talk to Pierce about this when we return Soren's notebook to him. Though he doesn't seem to be here right now. Maybe he's at the Flying Chapel. Okay, so... Not the morning dock, but it's probably the hole. Actually, no. I sure hope Pierce is around here somewhere. Oh, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay. Wow, I can't believe I guessed that right. Hello, Pierce. We were just looking for you. I'm sorry for Master Soren's sudden departure earlier. You have my sincerest apologies.
Never mind.
It was totally understandable, really, but shouldn't you be at his side right now? It's fine. The other servants are with him, and I am in constant contact with them. Do not forget to give him his pain medication, and be sure to keep him hydrated. Also, see to it that he is not up and about. He needs complete bed rest. Is this what happens when you're too rich for normal peasant phones? I must return to Master Soren now, but did you want something of me? Actually, here's Soren's notebook. He dropped it when he collapsed. I hope Pierce doesn't notice the bloodstain. That's gonna come up later. Oh, thank you very much for this. I will see to it personally that Master Soren gets it back. Thank you. I trust you did not look inside. Oh, of course not! Because it is filled with numerous patent-worthy ideas, you see. Look, I know you're busy, but would you mind if I asked you a few questions about the case? Well, as I said, I must be getting back to Master Soren. So if you could make it quick, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, I'll make this as quick as I can.
Before you talk to him, examine the map.
I wonder if, like, I already did. Yeah, nothing new has been added.
Damn it.
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you about the cover-up you tried to pull off, if you don't mind. I told everything there is to tell in court already. Disposing of anything that may harm the Sprocket family's reputation is simply a part of my job. It's probably job description. I have nothing more to say on the matter. This supposed wife wouldn't be one of those things that could threaten the family, eh? I will say, I did not think it's wise to spend time on topics that have already been discussed. Right.
The accident.
I was actually thinking, I would have to present the news thing, but no, the game did it for me. That's good.
Hooray.
Pierce, could you tell us more about this accident? Where did you find that? And did I not already tell you about that accident? You did, but you conveniently left out one crucial detail. The fact that Dumas Bloomsbury was driving the car at the time. Well, that was on a strict need-to-know basis, and you didn't need to know. Oh, did I not mention that? I suppose it simply did not come up then. If Mr. Bloomsbury caused the accident, why didn't the Sprocket family fire him? Wouldn't that usually be the natural consequence of such a huge mistake? Please do not misunderstand. Bloomsbury stayed on with the family. On Master Soren's request. What? That is the type of person Master Soren is.
Have him coffee the butler. What? Oh, quick, Maya, summon Godo. Have him coffee but Godo's dead!
I don't think he's dead. I think he's in prison.
No, Godo. Like, he
Godot,
collapsed.
Matt, you mean Godot?
Yeah, Godo.
No, he's not dead.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure he's not
I'm
dead.
pretty sure he succumbed after the end of the case.
No, he wasn't wounded at all. Well,
Yes, he was. He was bleeding profusely from his face, and then he collapsed.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
He did not collapse.
Okay, I'm checking this.
He may be dead, but that might be just from natural causes or something.
I'm checking
Perhaps it was the influence of Miss... You're mixing it up with the guy that poisoned himself.
No, I know.
Perhaps it was the influence of Miss Selena's kind nature. She was such a kind person that even in her last moments, she thought of Master Soren. Not only did Soren not hold a grudge against Bloomsbury, he insisted on keeping him on. Now I really don't understand how that guy is mine.
Alright, I'll shut up, you're right.
Maybe he could show up some other time.
Yeah.
We'll see. Or maybe he could, or maybe Phoenix has to consult him about
I swear I thought he was dead because of how serious his injuries were.
There was a wound, but it wasn't that deep.
Yeah, he made it sound like he didn't have long for this world.
Yeah. So you were present for Selena Sprocket's last moments? Yes, in my professional capacity. The accident happened on the way to a certain party. And what kind of party was it?
Actually, give me your plates while I'm walking upstairs.
Oh,
Give me
that's convenient.
Are you done? That is behind you.
I'm sorry.
And glass.
Hey, cool.
It was Miss Selena's engagement party. Bloomsbury's injuries were minor, but Miss Selena's and Master Soren's were critical. They were brought to the Sprocket family's regular hospital. Wow, to have such a terrible thing happen on what was to be a day of celebration. Thanks to the surgeon in charge, Master Soren pulled through. But Miss Selena, she... The last words Miss Selena said to me were... Please help Soren. Ever since then, I have attended Master Soren and tried to help him in any way I can. You see, Selena's fiancé must have been devastated. Indeed. The shock of losing Miss Selena was so great, he quit being a surgeon. Were you the fiancé?
Now, remind me again, isn't there a person by the name of Saint Dumas of Bloomsbury?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna double check that.
He was a surgeon? Wait, so the surgeon who tried to save them both, was he? Yes, he was Miss Selena's fiancé.
Him.
It's probably you. Yeah, I was like, it's not you, is it?
I mean, that kind of did slip.
What a terrible
That's fine.
tragedy.
Don't worry about it. We would have figured that out.
How awful. So where is her fiancé now? Good question. I wonder that sometimes myself. So Selena had a fiancé? I'd like to find out more about him. But I doubt I'll find him anytime soon. Shut up, Phoenix. Like, even afterwards, I'd be like, after he says something like that, I'm like, it's probably him. It's probably Pierce. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I mean, let's be real here. Phoenix Wright is not exactly subtle when it comes to stuff. So are we done here? I'm afraid I must be going. Could you please just tell me a little more about Soren?
I was just thinking of Saint Dumas.
There is nothing more to tell. I didn't seem to get any real answers out of him just by asking him questions. But there is that piece of evidence I still don't know much about.
Cleaned the plate already.
Maybe he'll be able to tell me something about it.
Did you
Is that the candelabra again?
Sorry. I'm not
Here.
getting mad at you.
Have you ever seen this candelabra before? No, I don't know anything about it.
Oh no! Black? No, just red. Okay.
3 red. Yep. Magatama reacted. Pierce must be trying to hide something from me. I have to break those psyche locks and find out what. I can tackle it right away.
I mean, we kind of figured that.
Again, the older games.
Doesn't always.
No, I know.
The older games have basically lead you on a rigmarole.
Yar.
But like I said before, thankfully the newer games are usually pretty good at presenting these social link psyche lock segments when you can tackle
Social links.
Pierce's. By the way, there's talks that Persona 4 is getting the remake treatment now.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is?
Persona 4. I mean, honestly, I think Golden speaks for itself.
Can we
personally, but
play it, please?
yeah, sure.
I like 4.
That's the one with the
Are you calling in here or
the guns, right?
No, that's reload. That's 3.
Oh, can we do 3 as well?
Yeah, sure.
Because
I-
I'm gonna be honest. 3 has that what's the word that atmosphere that I really like.
Yeah, no, I get you. And plus, we get to hear Alejandra's sob story again.
Did they remake 3 already?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what reload. That's what reload.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
All right, Pierce's secret. Pierce, you're hiding something from me about this candelabra, aren't you? It is one of the candelabras from the Flying Chapel, is it not? Is there something special about it? Actually, yes. There's some blood on it, you see. I think the blood might belong to this person. Soren?
Yep.
Because he reacted like viscerally to it. Like as if it's like, oh yeah, I was stabbed by that. Oh wait, I was stabbed. Soren has a rather nasty wound on his body, doesn't he? Yes, Master Soren is indeed injured. So that's Soren's blood on the elevator lift. Are any of the other people involved in this case injured? Not as far as I know. I see. Then let me ask you this, Pierce. Do you suppose Soren could have been more directly involved than you're letting on? What in the world would make you think that? Oh, I've got my reasons. Mr. Gloomsbury's fingerprints were found on this candelabra's stem, which leads me to believe that Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed Soren with it. You cannot possibly think Master Soren is the one responsible for the murder. I don't have any conclusive evidence of that at the moment, but I do think he had a motive. This proves that Soren had a motive to kill Gloomsbury, and it's the newspaper article, because it talks about Gloomsbury being the driver that led on the accident that caused his mental problems and his sister's death.
take that?
Even though it was an accident, Mr. Gloomsbury was the man responsible for taking Soren's sister away. Let us suppose that Gloomsbury did stab Master Soren with the candelabra. Can you prove that it had anything to do with this case? He might have been stabbed at some other location for some other reason. Sorry, but I can prove it was related to this case. Oh, really? Soren's stabbing and Mr. Gloomsbury's death are definitely connected. Are they now? This is the piece of evidence that ties Soren's injury to Mr. Gloomsbury's murder. The lift bloodstain.
Yep, you got it.
Take that!
I had a feeling like this was going to come up at least once at this point. A bloodstain was found on the side of the lift that goes between the hold and Vista deck.
Excuse the Fae.
Yeah.
Its blood matches the blood that's on the candelabra. I obtained the results straight from the police, so I can assure you this information is correct. This bloodstain on the lift indicates an important fact. It shows us that Soren was there during the crime. Soren's blood is on the lift, which can only mean one thing. He was there, wasn't he? Soren was at the scene of the crime.
I gotta go.
Alright.
Okay, good luck with work, sweetheart.
You are very astute, Mr.
Bye.
Love you.
It appears
Love
I
you
cannot
too.
hide this from you any longer. See you around, buddy. Take care.
No dying.
Very well. I will tell you everything. Whoops. What? You unlocked the thing and yet you put my indicator on the top one? Off game. Like seriously, off and tie. In that order. Particularly. Very. Could you tell me about Soren's injury? Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmised, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared and tried to do the raging demon. I had no idea what that was. He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Even though Master Soren was badly injured, he went after Bloomsbury. So Soren really was at the scene of the murder, wasn't he? Yes, that is correct. However, by the time Master Soren arrived at the scene, Bloomsbury had already been murdered. So Pierce is saying that Soren was at the crime scene. That he didn't have anything to do with the murder itself. Even still, why do you try to keep such an important piece of information from me? I am very sorry. Master Soren's injury and Bloomsbury's murder were not directly related, so I decided not to mention it, so as not to unnecessarily complicate the investigation. Now then, I am sorry, but I am afraid I must really go now. Please excuse me. Thank you for your time.
Sauce.
Pierce should have just told us everything in the first place and save us all a lot of time. Yeah, but I guess it isn't that simple for him. He is the family butler, after all. He sure didn't make our job any easier, though, did he? But at least we learned something new. Soren was at the scene of the crime.
You should positively just change over.
That's true. One step forward is better than none. So what next, Nick? Let's see. The forensic team must be done investigating the reception hall by now. Let's go check it out. Sounds like a plan. How much longer is there?
A little bit left.
A little bit.
But it's already 7 o'clock.
Yeah, there is quite a bit to do. Alrighty, my friends, we're going to take a short break, and then when we're done, we will be back with Final Fantasy VII Remake.